Well, here it is, folks. The first Super Tournament of the year, 2015, the 77th Tata Steel Chess Tournament. Great action, great tournament, great world-class players. Don't miss any of the action. And here are the participants for the Tata Steel 2015. This is the Masters section. Hell of a lineup here, folks. Magnus Carlsen, current world champion, #1 rated in the world. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American, playing for Italy, #2 in the world. Lebanonian, great player, #6 in the world. Giri from the Netherlands. You'll see a lot of Netherlands players in this tournament because they're playing in the Netherlands. Wesley So just switched from the Philippines to USA. I saw Wesley at Millionaire Chess in Las Vegas in October, #10 in the world. Maxime Vacher-Lagraf from France, #13. And I'm sure I'll butcher this name. Javtasizik, #50 in the world, from Poland. Timur Rajabov. I like Timur a lot. He's had a hard time the last year and a half, but he's still #20 in the world. Marine Ding from China. Jobava from Georgia. Exciting player. Look for crazy games with Jobava. And one of my personal favorites of all time, Vasily Ivanchuk from Ukraine. I'll tell you the truth, I like Vasily a lot. He's a really interesting guy. Hao Yifan from China, current women's world champion. Luke Van Wheelie from the Netherlands. I met Luke once and got his autograph in 2010 in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania at the World Open. He's a pretty cool guy. And Ivan Saric from Croatia to round out the field. Average rating 2746, category 20. This is a hell of a tournament, folks. I'll tell you, someday I'm going to put this on my bucket list. I live in the eastern United States in upstate New York, and I would love to go just once before I leave this world to go see that tournament. It's a really cool city. It's a really cool place. I'll just have to see someday I'll be able to make it. Anyway, stay tuned for all the action, all the great games. Well, here we are, folks. The long-anticipated Tata Steel Chess Tournament 2015. First Super Tournament of the year. One of my personal favorites. This is a game from Round 1, 77th edition, I might add, of the tournament. Round 1 action between Giri from the Netherlands as white and current world champion Magnus Carlsen is black. Let's get to it. It's going to be a modern defense, which is kind of interesting. I'm not familiar with Carlsen playing a modern defense. Bishop G7, E4. I kind of like the modern defense, actually. It's very practical. You don't need a ton of book on it. Black's a little cramped, but it's not really the end of the world. I kind of like it. Maybe I ought to start playing that myself instead of my King's Indian against D4. Knight C3, Knight C6. Bishop G5, threatening the queen. Now this is the one drawback that I don't like, but later it comes around, is going F6 in this position. Now the computer calls for Bishop to F6 as being a little more accurate, but Magnus decided to go F6. Bishop B3, knight comes out there instead. H3, probably stopping this very pesky pin here on the knight. If the pawn had taken instead, knight takes, F takes. Always take towards the center as a rule. That's pretty good position there. After H3, knight comes to F7. Let's see, the computer likes E takes D or knight takes D4. Third choice is castle. Magnus must have been working on this opening a little bit. Knight to F7, C5. Gone D5 instead. After knight to E7, Bishop B2. Black's pretty cramped, but it's okay. I mean, that light-squared bishop is going to be next. I mean, you could even go as far as saying that pawn here takes, and eventually castle on the queen side. That's not so outrageous. After C5, D takes, knight takes F7. And decides, this is where I think Giri could have traded queens, decided not to, plays knight takes instead, and after F takes, Bishop b5. Now, this is an okay advantage for white. Nothing really spectacular. I think Giri's okay. Bishop d7. Just for those who are wondering if queen had taken instead, after rook takes, bishop d7, bishop takes. Minute advantage for white. I think Giri's doing okay. Bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. Black has the bishop pair. That's the advantage. Computer shows it as dead even. When I say dead even, I mean literally 0.00. Interesting move here, though, and a number 2 choice in the computer, barely number 2, is bishop f8. I kind of like that, because this pawn is going to be stuck here for a while. What's this bishop going to do? Bite against his own pawn? Got a little carried over my arrow there. Bite against the own pawn? Put it somewhere that will do some good to get rid of his dark squared bishop. So they traded. White finally castles. Queen takes, rook takes, rook d8, rook takes, king takes, rook d1 check, king e7. It's a pretty even game. It kind of petered out in a hurry. There's a little imbalance on the queen side for black. He's got an extra pawn, but bishop against knight. We'll go through. Bishop takes, rook takes, king e6, f3, c6. We'll just go through here. It's going to be a common rook ending. King f2, rook d7, rook takes, king takes, h4, c5. You have to be very careful in these king and pawn endings that you don't mess up, but they're just going to go through the next few moves here. King e6, h6, f4, and that's where they called it quits. I went through the game a little fast, but there wasn't really much there, to tell you the truth. There wasn't really much action going on. I'm not sure what was going on in Carlsen's head, whether he was prepared for the modern defense, or excuse me, Giri's head. I don't know if he was prepared for the modern defense. Carlsen didn't play in this last year. He hasn't played in a little while, so maybe he just wanted to get in a solid draw, or maybe look for an opportunity which never came. So it's a draw in round 1. There's going to be other games from round 1 coming up. Some exciting games. I've got to get them up here on my YouTube channel. Want to tell everyone, I hope you had a very good holiday season and Christmas season, and I wish all of you all the best in 2015 and all the happiness that life will allow. And as I always say, folks, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Cordisco's Corner Store is hosting its 5th annual chess championship. The Broome County Chess Championship Francis Cordisco Memorial got started over the weekend. Organizer John Cordisco says it's an opportunity for chess fans, both experts and newcomers, to test their level of skill. There are 2 sections depending on level of play, and both have cash prizes for the top 3 winners.
We draw some really good players. There's some pretty good players in this county, and it's a very high quality chess compared to the number of people in the area. It's a great tournament, and I encourage people to come down and just to watch if they want.
The second and final round is this Sunday from 10 until 4, and it takes place at Cordisco's Corner Store at 308 Shenango Street in Binghamton.